The most celebrated and prestigious horse race in the United States, the Kentucky Derby, takes place on May 6th, 2023. On that very same day, the once-in-a-lifetime historic occasion of the crowning of a new British monarch takes place, the coronation of Charles III, who has made his pilgrimage to Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, the site of the Derby. The day of the hallowed Kentucky Derby is known as Derby Day. Americans say Derby, Britons say Derby, D-Day, being a popular title for the decisive World War II Normandy invasion led by U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt and Britain's Winston Churchill. Churchill, like Churchill Downs, the host of the Kentucky Derby. Louisville and America's high holy day of D-Day, Derby Day, was preceded this year by an April 10th mass shooting at the Old National Bank in downtown Louisville, Kentucky, across from the home stadium, Louisville Slugger Field, of the city of Louisville's AAA professional baseball team, the Louisville Bats. Here I introduce a seemingly unconnected but profoundly related phenomenon to the proceedings in the form of an American icon, Hall of Fame quarterback Peyton Manning, who retired in 2015 and entered the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2021, and today still maintains a dominant media and entertainment presence as a personification of Americana. If you are not a sports fan or an American football fan, this decode is still for you. It is about the power of ancient archetypes and symbols on the human story, from the inception of human civilization till today. In this case, the primary symbol is the horse. Peyton Manning played for two NFL teams in his career, the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos, two horse-themed teams, and most likely not by coincidence. But the element of the Peyton Manning esoteric narrative that most attaches him to the unique and historic Kentucky Derby of 2023 and the coronation of King Charles III on May 6th is his signature audible play call. Omaha.
Omaha! 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 Omaha!
To gauge the impact of Manning's Omaha play calling signal from ABC News Network in 2014, quote, Doug Parrott, Executive Vice President of the Nebraska-based Bailey Luhrmann Public Relations and Advertising firm, noted that airtime for a 30-second Super Bowl ad is $4 million this year being 2014. If Manning leads the Broncos to the Super Bowl and yells Omaha as many times as he did Sunday, well, that's lots of free exposure for this old cow town, unquote. In fact, Peyton Manning has become so associated with his famous Omaha play call, as he stated on a 2021 appearance on Barstool Sports' Pardon My Take podcast. Quote, now I walk through an airport and a guy yells, Omaha. I just turn around and wave and keep walking. I don't even get called by my name anymore. I just get called Omaha. In 2014, after Peyton Manning barked Omaha 44 times in a playoff game versus the San Diego Chargers, ABC Network suggested that, quote, the reason for the word choice, if there is one, is known only to Manning and the Broncos. The words often are a signal to the rest of the offense to change a player's scheme, and defenses sometimes try to crack the code. Well, the code behind occulted phenomena such as Peyton Manning's Omaha cannot be cracked by the superficial conventional analysis of mainstream outlets such as ABC. It has to be examined through the lens of the mystery traditions, the profound archetypes of the tarot and ancient mythology, basic simple astrology, and the alphanumerical code of GEMATRIA, the arcane elements that I refer to as the truth codes. In 2017, CBS declared that, quote, retired Peyton Manning finally explains the true meaning of his Omaha call. The mystery has finally been solved. Omaha was just an indicator word. It was a trigger word that meant that we had changed the play. There was low time on the clock, and the ball needed to be snapped right now to kind of let my offensive linemen know that, hey, we'd gone to plan B. There's low time on the clock. It's a rhythmic 3-syllable word. O-ma-ha. Set, hut. And then CBS goes on to say, boom, mystery solved. They do explain the purpose of the audible Omaha, but they do not explain why Omaha specifically was the word chosen for that purpose. That specific reason is explained here on the Truth Codes, and known at least by CBS because they did hint at the beginning of their article when they said, regarding Peyton Manning explaining what Omaha meant, of course, there's nothing like hearing it from the horse's mouth, and now that Peyton Manning's retired, it appears that he's now willing to talk about the meaning of his favorite word. The horse's mouth. Peyton Manning is literally the horse, as CBS acknowledges. Peyton Manning played for 2 horse-themed teams, the Indianapolis Colts, by whom he was drafted out of college as the number 1 first pick of the 1998 NFL Draft, and later for the Denver Broncos. He won the Super Bowl championships with both those horse-themed teams, the only 2 teams that he played for in his entire NFL career. The Colts and the Broncos. The Kentucky Derby is the first of 3 premier races in the United States which make up what is known as the Triple Crown. The next 2 Triple Crown events after the Kentucky Derby are the Preakness Stakes in Baltimore, Maryland, followed by the Belmont Stakes in Long Island, New York, southeast of New York City. 13 horses in history have won the Triple Crown, meaning winning Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and Belmont Stakes in the same season. The 3rd horse to ever win the Triple Crown was named Omaha, who won it in 1935. Triple Crown winning racehorse Omaha was foaled, born on March 24th. Remember this quote from Peyton Manning that he made on Barstool Sports' Pardon My Take podcast. Quote, now I walk through an airport and a guy yells Omaha. I just turn around and wave and keep walking. I don't even get called by my name anymore. I just get called Omaha. So CBS knew exactly what they were saying when they wrote in 2017 regarding Peyton Manning explaining the purpose of Omaha. Again, he didn't actually explain why Omaha specifically was chosen, but he only explained the purpose. That having Manning explain it was hearing it from the horse's mouth. They literally referred to Peyton Manning as the horse. Not a horse, the horse. Which horse? Omaha. Peyton Manning is Omaha, born on March 24th. The same birthday as the horse Omaha. Peyton Manning, who is a Colt and a Bronco. One of the very few times that an official count was taken on the number of times that Peyton Manning audibled Omaha in a single game was the 2014 AFC Division Playoff game when Manning led the Denver Broncos against the San Diego Chargers. The official count by the NFL itself, and highly publicized across the media, was 44. The NFL and the media never counted and publicized an exact statistic on his Omaha calls. This was consciously done for a specific reason. Officially, 44 counts of audibling Omaha, the Triple Crown winning racehorse. Omaha was born on March 24th, 1932. Peyton Manning, who says that he is now called Omaha by the public instead of by his actual name, was born March 24th, 1976. On the 44th anniversary of the birth of the racehorse, Omaha. That is why 44 was on this one occasion attached to Peyton Manning and his Omaha audibles. He was born 44 years to the day of the birth of the racehorse Omaha, Peyton Manning, the colt and the bronco. The day of the Kentucky Derby is known as Derby Day, D-Day. D-Day is a double entendre. It refers to the decisive Normandy invasion of World War II under the American leadership of Franklin D. Roosevelt and the British leadership of Winston Churchill. The Kentucky Derby is held at Churchill Downs, not named after Winston Churchill, but the name Churchill is invoked there. The 5 sections of Nazi-occupied Normandy, France, were given American code names by the Allied forces. The section that experienced the most casualties on D-Day was a 5-mile stretch of beach in Normandy, codenamed Omaha. D-Day Normandy invasion was codenamed Operation Neptune. Omaha Beach was subdivided into zones, one of which was codenamed Charlie. The patron of the sport of horse racing is the ruler of the seas, Neptune. D-Day was Operation Neptune. Neptune is Poseidon. Charlie equals 38 and 43 in English GEMATRIA. Poseidon equals 38 and 43. GEMATRIA reveals a common substance between separate entities by giving them the same numerical value. Charlie, relating to King Charles, and D-Day of Kentucky Derby, the day of his coronation, and also to World War II, D-Day, Charlie zone of Omaha Beach. So D-Day, Normandy partially led by Churchill, prominently featured Omaha. D-Day, Derby Day at Churchill Downs, has a legend horse named Omaha. In Greco-Roman mythology, the god of the waters, of springs, rivers, lakes, and the sea is Poseidon, also known as Neptune. The planet Neptune is represented in the tarot tradition by the trump card, the Hanged Man, who is depicted suspended upside down. Because of its upside-down preference, the bat is sometimes used in the tarot tradition to illustrate the Hanged Man tarot card. In the weeks leading up to the May 6th Kentucky Derby, there was a mass shooting at the Old National Bank in downtown Louisville, Kentucky, by a perpetrator named Connor Sturgeon. Sturgeon, the name of a fish, keeping with the water theme. The bank is a water reference, as in a river bank. The Old National Bank in Louisville is almost on the banks of the Ohio River. The god of the waters is Neptune. Neptune is also the patron of horse racing. Directly opposite the Old National Bank in Louisville, Kentucky, is the home stadium of their AAA professional baseball team, the Louisville Bats. The Hanged Man tarot card, which represents Neptune, can also depict a bat. Louisville's professional baseball team, the Bats, play at the AAA level of professional baseball. For those not familiar with the makeup of American professional baseball, AAA refers to the leagues at the immediate level below the major leagues. The major leagues being the pinnacle of American professional baseball. So a world-recognized team like the New York Yankees, they play at the top level league, the major leagues. AAA is the professional league below the major leagues. Louisville's baseball team plays at that level immediately below the major leagues, which is called AAA. AAA league teams are not independent. They are each affiliated with a Major League Baseball team, which is a very important point to emphasize regarding this epic ritual, along with its natural matrix-like synchronicity. So every AAA league baseball team is affiliated with a Major League Baseball team. The Louisville Bats AAA team are affiliated with the Cincinnati Reds of Major League Baseball. This means that players on the Louisville Bats are part of the Cincinnati Reds and can be promoted to the Reds Major League Baseball team. Likewise, Cincinnati Reds Major League Baseball players can be demoted to the AAA Louisville Bats. The biggest day of the year in Louisville, Kentucky is Derby Day, the day of the Kentucky Derby, which in 2023 will be Saturday, May 6th. which is also the historic coronation day of King Charles III. Because of the importance of the Kentucky Derby, not just the importance in Louisville, but the national importance, the sheer magnitude of the day and of the event means that the Louisville Bats baseball team will never be scheduled to play at home in Louisville on the day of the Kentucky Derby, on Derby Day, on D-Day. They are always scheduled to leave town. So where are the Louisville Bats scheduled to play on May 6th, 2023, on such a profoundly historic and unique Derby Day? Where are the Louisville Bats scheduled to play? In Omaha. Remember that every AAA team is affiliated with a Major League Baseball team, and the Kentucky Derby is being held on the very same day as the coronation of King Charles III, who is royalty. King Charles, KC. The Omaha Storm Chasers, who will host the Louisville Bats on May 6, 2023, Derby Day and Coronation Day, are the AAA affiliate of Major League Baseball's Kansas City, KC, Royals. That is KC, the initials of King Charles. The Royals, the initials KC and the Crown, appear on their logo. They are the Major League team. Their AAA affiliate is Omaha Storm Chasers, who will host the Louisville Bats on Derby Day, Coronation Day 2023. The Francis Bacon / Elizabethan / Rosicrucian K, that is K-A-Y-E cipher of English Gematria, is the only one of multiple ciphers that attributes the powerful and Freemasonically significant letter G with a value of the esoterically powerful 33. For this reason, this cipher, the Rosicrucian Francis Bacon Elizabethan K cipher, is particularly significant to Freemason ritual. 33 and G, two of the most salient and recognizable Freemason symbols, making the K cipher ultra significant. Francis Bacon being one of the single most influential figures to modern-day Freemasonry. The calculator with the Elizabethan ciphers can be found at Alectrion.github.io. A link to it will be provided in the description. In the Francis Bacon Elizabethan K cipher, the letters that make up the name Omaha sum to 114. 114. 114 is the date, 11th April. 11th April, 114 is the opening date in 2011 of the home stadium of the Omaha Storm Chasers, where the Louisville Bats will be playing on May 6, 2023, D-Day. Omaha has a value of 114. Horse has a value of 114. Conscious manipulation by an esoteric elite? Or is it just the manifestation of the Matrix-like mystical program that runs the universe? Look at this headline by the New York Times referring to the Matrix of Manning. The Matrix of Manning matches Neptune at values of 95 and 94 in the base ciphers of English Gematria. In the simple or ordinal cipher, the letters A through Z, Z, are attributed values based on their order in the alphabet. A has a value of 1 being the first letter, through to Z, Z having a value of 26 being the 26th letter. Reverse ordinal or reverse simple starts with Z, Z as the first letter with a value of 1 through to A as the last letter with a value of 26. The Pythagorean / reduced ciphers have single-digit values. Double-digit values are reduced to single digits by adding the individual digits of the double-digit value and deriving a single-digit sum. So 10 is 1 and 0. 1 plus 0 equals 1. That's how 10 is reduced to 1, and all double digits are reduced in that manner. J is the 10th letter, so J has a value of 1 in the Pythagorean or reduced cipher of English Gematria. The same applies to the reverse of that cipher, which starts with Z, Z as 1 through to A as the last letter with a value of 8, 8 being 26 reduced, 2 plus 6. Across all the 4 base ciphers of English Gematria, the New York Times headline, The Matrix of Manning and Neptune match at 94 and 95. Gematria reveals a common essence and substance between separate entities by giving them the same numerical value. The Greek version of Neptune is Poseidon, the patron of horses and, specifically, of the sport of horse racing. In English Gematria, Poseidon equals 97 and 38. Omaha has values of 97 and 38. Of course, Peyton Manning's famous number 18 jersey was retired by the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. Retiring a number means that the number will never be worn again by any player in the future of that team. Peyton Manning wore 18 in high school, 16 in college for the University of Tennessee, and then reverted back to 18 in the National Football League. In the Francis Bacon Rosicrucian Elizabethan cipher that uses the Elizabethan alphabet that made I and J essentially the same interchangeable letter, and thus giving them the same gematria value, and made U and V the same interchangeable letter, giving them the same gematria value, the reduction. Reduction can also be called Pythagorean, which is reducing double-digit values to single digits. So ZZ, Francis Bacon himself referred to the letter as Z. 24 in this cipher, since I and J are the same value and U and V are the same value, instead of 1 through 26, it is 1 through 24. And 24 is reduced to 6 in the same manner. 2 plus 4 is 6. In the Francis Bacon Rosicrucian Elizabethan cipher, reduced, Omaha has a value of 18. Peyton Manning's jersey. Peyton Manning's signature play call now has become his name. Only in the Rosicrucian Francis Bacon ciphers. Do not let anyone convince you that these ciphers are not important. These are central to Freemasonry. Philip is the middle name of King Charles, whose father was named Philip. The name Philip literally means lover or friend of horses. Peyton Manning is the horse. During his celebrated college career, where this is at the University of Tennessee, and is considered a legend at that level as well, Manning's head coach was Philip, lover of horses, spelt with 2 L's in this case, Philip Fulmer. Notice the price, 119. Poseidon has a gematria value of 119. The much celebrated 2014 playoff game against the San Diego Chargers, where there was an official count by the NFL on the number of Omahas that Manning yelled, which was 44 because Peyton Manning was born 44 years to the day of the birth of the racehorse Omaha. Samuel E. Morrison wrote in History of United States Naval Operations in World War II, Volume 11, The Invasion of France and Germany. Quote, Omaha Beach, there's a name that will live, like Tarawa and Guadalcanal, as long as men prize valor and feel for suffering. Unquote. Omaha Beach attained its historical status for events in the year 44. 44 shouts of Omaha by Peyton Manning is also an occulted reference to the Normandy landings, codenamed Operation Neptune. The much celebrated 2014 playoff game against the San Diego Chargers, where there was an official count by the NFL on the number of Omahas that Manning yelled, which was 44. Manning's opposing quarterback in that game against the Chargers was named Philip, which again means lover of horses or friend of horses. The patron of horses and horse racing is Neptune, Poseidon, who is also the god of springs and the ocean and the rivers. Manning's opponent in that game was Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers is a Sagittarius, which is part of St. Peter's Cross, the zodiacal mutable cross of Sagittarius Gemini, Virgo Pisces. The Hanged Man Tarot card represents the mutable cross, including Sagittarius, Philip Rivers' zodiac sign. The Hanged Man Tarot card is also Neptune, the god of horses. The name Philip literally refers to Neptune. Peyton Manning's second Super Bowl win came against the Carolina Panthers, who wear black and blue. Black and blue are the colors of the blue planet Neptune that has a larger and a smaller black spot on it. For this reason, the planet Neptune has earned the nickname the Black and Blue. The head coach of the Neptunian Black and Blue Carolina Panthers that Peyton Manning defeated to win his second Super Bowl when he was with the Denver Broncos. The Black and Blue head coach was Ron Rivera. Remember that Connor Sturgeon, who just shot up the Old National Bank in Louisville, Kentucky, close to the banks of the Ohio River in Louisville, Kentucky, known for its horses, the animal of Neptune, and has a Neptune statue at its water tower? Ron Rivera of the Black and Blue defeated by the horse, Bronco, Omaha himself, Peyton Manning. Ron Rivera's nickname is Riverboat Ron. Gematria reveals a common essence and a common substance between separate terms by giving them the same numerical value. The corporate name of the Denver Broncos home stadium is Empower, a stadium with blue seats and wavy shapes at its upper levels to illustrate the waters, the realm of Neptune, and replete with Neptunian horse homages around the stadium. In addition to the Bronco name and logo, Empower and Neptune are a super match across three base ciphers of English gematria. Empower Field also prominently celebrates Neptune's most salient of all symbols, the trident. Bronco has gematria value of 95, 32, and 31. Neptune has gematria value of 95, 32, and 31. Bronco 31. Neptune 31. After defeating Phillip Rivers and the Chargers, Manning then faced the New England Patriots in the next round of the playoffs, which was the AFC Championship game. That was in 2014. Peyton Manning officially audibled Omaha 31 times. Neptune in Latin is Neptunus, which has a gematria value of 31. 31, Neptune 31, Bronco 31. Louisville, Kentucky's Old National Bank is en route 31. From D-Day, Derby Day in Kentucky at Churchill Downs on May 6, 2023, to the anniversary of D-Day, World War II Normandy landings, partially led by Churchill, officially codenamed Operation Neptune, June 6, 2023, is a period of 31 days. The gematria value of Neptune. Connor Sturgeon, who did the mass shooting at the Old National Bank in Louisville, Kentucky on April 10th, 2023. Sturgeon, the fish reverence, that bank on the Ohio River bank, from April 10th, 2023 to Peyton Manning's birthday and the anniversary of the next birthday of Omaha, the Triple Crown winning horse, March 24th, 2024, is 11 months, 14 days. 11, 14. Like November 14th date. The birthday of King Charles, KC, the Royal, who will be crowned on Louisville, Kentucky's Derby Day, a venue to which he made a personal pilgrimage. Louisville's baseball team, the Bats, will vacate the city for the big event and visit the city of Omaha. The Omaha Storm Chasers, who are the AAA affiliate of Major League Baseball's KC Royals. I have a short series on the power of acoustic resonance. Om is the famous Vedic frequency sound which serves as a sonic representation of the divine. The suffix maha is another powerful Vedic Hindu acoustic frequency used in mantras and as a prefix to the names of multiple deities such as Shiva, whose symbol is the trident, who is also known as Mahadeva. So Maha, very important, powerful suffix with specific acoustic resonance, just as Hinduism's signature acoustic sound symbol, Om. Freemasonry has co-opted Maha in one of its secret words of the Master Mason, which is Mahabone. Look at the date on which this article on the Freemason Master Mason's secret word Mahabone was published. It was March 24th. It is an article indirectly about the power of vibration of Maha, and it is published on the birthdays of Peyton Manning, the Bronco and Colt, and the legendary racehorse by whose name Manning is now associated, Omaha. Om. Maha. Om is also a term relating to electricity, how effectively a material receives electricity. How interesting that the electrical term for ohm looks like a horseshoe, like the Indianapolis Colts logo horseshoe. Colts legend Peyton Manning identified with OMAHA, the name of the legendary horse that won the Kentucky Derby and the Triple Crown. The Kentucky Derby logo is a horseshoe. Electrical term ohm is named after German physicist George Simon Ohm. The horse is a symbol of Neptune. Neptune rules the zodiac sign of Pisces. George Simon Ohm was a Pisces. Listen to a Hindu meditation chant involving the frequency of Om and Maha. Here, I'll leave a link in the video description to this chant if you want to hear a very powerful Hindu chant, and several of them involving Om and Maha, to just underscore the importance of the frequency of those particular sounds. And just looking over the titles, you can see the terms Om and Maha in the titles. So no coincidence then that the new, current day, dominant superstar quarterback in the National Football League is named Mahomes. A reversal of Om, Maha, Mahomes, Omaha. The same two sounds reversed. The current Super Bowl champion quarterback, who was not the highest profile and most celebrated player of the most recent NFL season. That distinction, the highest profile of the past season, despite the fact that Mahomes was the championship winning quarterback, that distinction of the highest profile player went to Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills. He became America's darling after surviving an on-field cardiac arrest. And Damar Hamlin was featured at Patrick Mahomes' Super Bowl, and whose birthday, this is Damar Hamlin's birthday, is March 24th. The same birthday as that of Omaha, the horse, and of Peyton Manning, who is now literally referred to as Omaha, not even referred to as Peyton Manning anymore. Look again at this March 24th published article on the Freemason secret word of the Master Mason, Mahabone. Mahabone can be a secret password to enter a Masonic lodge. The person who takes the passwords, the guard at the door to the lodge, is called a Tyler. The Tyler checks for the password Mahabone. Mahomes, the quarterback, was born in the state of Texas, in the city of Tyler.
Omaha! 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 Omaha!
Oh. Oh.